everyone. Ghost Days of 7 8 years service. We are playing Ziggs, Glorious Crown Ziggs Season 14 skin in the mid lane against the Lux. So here is all the players and their names. We are not having an anonymous setup, Brody. You get credit for being at the top level of play with the Academia student, a Guardian of Eternal Starlight, etc., etc.
Minions have spawned.
We have our team!
Okay, so here's our start build. We went Amplifying Tome to have that damage. We did get the vision on the left side there in order to see if Viego was going to counter vision with his flower in the jungle. I see the Lux in the bush there. She didn't know it. I gave it away, but I did get some early trade poke on that. Get these last hits. We'll say last hits in the mid lane is do or die, and it is very difficult. Mid lane is probably one of the hardest lanes to play for last hits. So Lux is making some plays, and I got dodge reflex. Again, reflexes are do or die. Definitely got to be aware of what things are going to be coming at you and try to negate it with really good movement. Back to rule number 1. She gets that one. Try to get some poke on her. Try to get these last hits. Unfortunately, I can't deny too much of that because I'm trying to get my gold, and she knows it. So Lux is a pretty competent player. She's like, I got you pushed forward. You're kind of against the ropes, in a way of saying.
I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of play time.
So my hands are a little bit tied, so we just do what we can do. And we do have that bush, so we can try to mitigate some of that trade value. Try to keep up on our mana. Try to keep up on our health. Try to back as often as possible to solidify that gold. We're basically just playing poke game on Ziggs, just trying to hit my Qs as frequently as possible. It has absurd range. It just bounces forever. That's what it seems like. Okay, got some great last hits there. That's looking really nice. Looking very competent, real clean. Mel picks up that first blood there, which is real nice. Rakan tries to kill her, and she flashes out beautifully. Yup. Look at that. Barely any health left.
You made a fatal error crossing me.
Clutch escape on the Mel and first blood. Highly competent individual. Playing a Mel support. You'll see that one getting banned a lot. Okay, we got a double minion score on that Q. Nice, we avoid some of that damage there. We definitely do not want to be caught by her stun. She did not bring an electrocute, and I did, but that's fine. That meter one apparently is good, but I've not seen the value of it. It's like it doesn't work, or I don't know. I don't use it, so I can't tell you anything about it, but it's supposed to drop a meteor, which does AP damage, so it's supposed to be usable. She extended a little too far, so that way she had no escape. She's basically bullying me. I don't like it, so I'm like, oh, I'm going to trade you with the ult, and if you stick around, I'm going to get you with that bomb. Lucky miss right there. As you can see, that range is really far. Get these last hits nicely. Watch out for that Viego, though, because I know I've been poking the Lux out, which is going to give him an indicator to come in and mess up my stuff. Fuck up my shit. I don't want to get my ass beat, Brody. But yeah, I respect the jungler by getting vision and being aware of when he's going to come in. And obviously, as I just said, when you start damaging the enemy opponent, jungler's going to realize. The jungler's always watching the map. That's just what they do. They wave clear the jungle and watch the map and look for opportunities. So I'm trying to mitigate that, keep my head on a swivel. And be aware, I don't want to be the one who feeds. I don't want to be the one who chokes on it. I will not be perceived as asinine, a hypocrite. So we go ahead and queue those minions. We try to get some AoE value on my E there. It's got some nice spread with some mini bombs. Missed that CS, but at least I got the rest of the wave because there is some AoE splash on my Q. And I do max that first because it is do or die on the poke game in the mid lane. Unless you're playing someone who can all in like the Lux. She lands her combo. She instant kills you with the whole combo. Again, Electrocute pairs really good with that in my opinion, but it's not to say she's trolling or something. Not sure what she's doing there though. She's like AFK or disconnected or not sure. There's been some weird things happening in the game with people being disconnected, or there's a lot of weird foul play glitches. I call that peculiar. I don't find anything coincidental. Again, we're creative genius, so there's no such thing as coincidence in life.
Hello. I want to play a game. Will you continue to lose yourself in other lives? Or will you take a moment to see? To really see?
There's only motive, means, opportunity, sabotage, rank manipulation, those kind of things, buddy. Do not fall victim to any nasty behaviors or illegal activities that we do not condone.
Take cover!
So, looks like Lux died. I didn't catch that, but maybe she did get disconnected because later on in this game, she was DC. So that seemed weird. We'll say it is kind of demoralizing playing against me because my telepathy, my ability to trace is extremely OP. My IQ is a substantial advantage. Go listen to Head Start, Lucidius. I definitely have a head start compared to most people at the top percentage of play in every game. You guys have seen my HOK. Honor of Kings. This is me showing you some Wild Rift. Until I got hacked there or something weird happened where I was stuck. And even with that, Viego couldn't do stuff. He couldn't do shit. I got out clean. And Rengar was like, I'm gonna punish you.
It's not funny! It's not funny! It's not funny! It's not funny!
You need that? What the hell? Nasty stuff. You come here and you see. These people are nasty, man. They are not spreading positivity and joy. They are malintent elitists who will do anything to win. I think it's like something unfair. There's nothing unfair about equally balanced play. The only thing unfair is if you're playing ban picks and they have the opportunity to ban whatever they want. And then they complain about it when you pick it and they didn't ban it. There's no reason to complain. Again, I'm trying to move and it didn't let me move. Like, why would I want to recall right there in the middle of nowhere with Viego been watching the whole game? That just doesn't sound like competent choices. Again, I'm not the ass, and I'm not going to teach you these rules and these ways of playing and then fall prey to falling short. I have a pedestal of competency. I wear it with pride. You cannot take my pride. I'm pretty pushed up on the mid lane, and I don't want to overextend in Biff or Int. So I come over here, try to help them. Unfortunately, they must have had vision. They did. They totally saw me coming. So I'm like, okay then, I'll just go back to mid lane and try not to overextend. Again, I have no vision where the Viego is. So we're just kind of waiting, getting some vision, waiting on that ward to come back up so then I can kind of hug the left side. Waiting to see if he's going to come in, but he doesn't. It's only 8 minutes, but we're sitting on a 5k gold lead. Just about. And it's usually pretty one-sided. Mostly because I have quite the advantage. Overwhelming advantage over my opponent, so that's hard carrying 101. You're going to pick something competent, you're going to flex it, you're going to try to deny me. Tries to get me here, and I just bounce out. I'm like, no, he almost killed me with that ignite. Should have been 5 seconds. I don't know why the ignite wasn't the whole time. Seems a bit odd. He might have actually killed me there, in honest truth, because I don't care. I mean, he had the good drop on me. I'm not trying to lie about it. Sometimes I do die. You'll see games where I sometimes die. I mean, go back and look at it. Honor of Kings, but sometimes I die. But usually if I die, it's not the end of the world. Either way, it was a pretty clean escape, other than the fact that his ignite did not seem to work. Oh, it wasn't an ignite then. Oh, I see. Oh, I'm completely wrong. My apologies. My apologies. I guess he didn't have me. I assumed it was an ignite. So there must be his red buff. So he did not actually catch me there. Right. So there's no I'm hacking or they're trying to hack on my benefit or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I see something happening here, and I try to get that volley bear. I get some decent chunk damage on the volley bear, but his base scaling is really high. He's definitely a viable top meta laner. So we just kind of chunk him down a little bit, try to set that Nasus up for success. Nasus gets infinite Q farm. I do have an older video on Nasus, but there was no analytical commentary, so I will try to get you guys a Nasus video. I do have Nasus at a 70% win ratio on Diamond. I don't know if that dropped or anything, but that was the last season I know when I was playing him. They used to ban Nasus because apparently I'm too godly as Nasus. Whatever, it's Nasus, man. They try to bully me as Nasus. I put a hull breaker on. I get those Q farms and I come back later. His late game scaling is obnoxiously broken. But I hope they would never nerf it because I have a soft spot for Nasus in my heart. He was the first champion I ever bought in Season 3 of League of Legends. One of my favorite champions of the game. Pick up that Infinity Orb. My apologies, I have not been showing the build this video, but I did start with the Luden's Echo. Again, for that wave clear value, the AoE proc on movement stacks. And then I pick up that Infinity Orb for that penetration and overall damage and burst. Real nice stuff. They ended up surrendering because Lux was DC'd for whatever reason. Again, I'm thinking foul play. Again, there's no coincidence. Either way, unfortunately, the video is cut short, and that's all I have to show you on the Ziggs. Things to note, I use the Q for poke. I use the W for gap close or to push enemies away. I use the E to secure more farm, also wave clear, and the build synergizes perfectly. The one thing I did not buy and would have bought next was the Zonia. I usually try to buy that as soon as possible after the 6-minute mark. Why? Because those things are very powerful, and Zonia's itself is rare, very big outplay. So again, short matchup. Not sure what's up with that. Here's the first 11 minutes of builds on current viable meta at the top level of play. So we'll go into the stats here. Maybe not worth showing, but you know, 12 minutes, it is what it is. 42% damage on that Mel. That is phenomenal. That is pro level stats right there. I don't know who this person is. It could be a Smurf. Could be some top 200 server person, but that they could be using a Smurf account themselves. I don't know, but you don't get those stats without knowing a thing or two about the game. Again, I train the pros, Brody.
What is your truth now?
So that's something to note. Anyways, here's the runes, or whatever you want to call them nowadays. I got my electrocute, pretty good damage, cheap shot for that true damage on movement and pair. The chain assault, so triggering an attack after hitting a target with an ability adds extra damage. Ingenious hunter, kills increase item ability haste, so you're going to get more cooldown if you get those kills. And gathering storms, so that way you get scaling on AP/AD for the whole game. Again, that gathering storm is very viable, gives you that scaling throughout the game, so you're not going to fall off. If the game goes on longer, you can have more value against players who did not bring that with them. As you can see here, we did not see anyone on the enemy team bringing it. It's not that they trolled the build or the runes. I can't say they did. There's just people got choices. And for me, I like late game scaling, kind of like the Nasus bringing the Q. That is a recipe to win.
I say either. You gotta say either. Either.
Whereas if you're getting bullied early, you might have a comeback on the sweatier games where it's not one side, it's more tooth or nail, and you'll see value there in those longer games. Anyways, that's it for the video for Ziggs in the mid lane. Feel free to catch me on YouTube. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, go to put that in the comments below. If you like the video or learned something, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.